Before you hear another word, make a choice. Hit subscribe, step into this arena, and commit to building the strongest version of yourself, not just in body, but in mind, in spirit, in destiny. Because what you are about to hear is not entertainment, it is not noise, it is a call to arms for your own transformation. Listen closely. Every day you wake up, you are in the fight of your life. Not against an opponent in the ring, not against a rival across the street, but against the invisible enemy that lives inside your own head. The whispers of doubt, the gravity of laziness, the prison of fear. And just like the body, the mind will decay if you do not train it. It will collapse under its own weakness if you do not sharpen it daily, deliberately, relentlessly. A muscle grows by resistance. It tears so it can rebuild stronger. Your mind works the same. It needs struggle. It needs pressure. It needs the weight of discipline pressing against it until the excuses break, until the fear surrenders, until the weakness suffocates. The question is, are you willing to step under that weight? Because discipline is not glamorous. Discipline is not applause. Discipline is a lonely gym at 5 a.m. It is the page of a book you read when the world is asleep. It is the silence of meditation when everyone else is chasing distraction. Discipline is the invisible work no one sees, but it is the only work that transforms you. And understand this, if the body is the sword, the mind is the hand that wields it. A sharp blade in the hand of a weak man is nothing. Power without focus is wasted. Strength without direction is blind. The ancients knew this. Socrates warned that the unexamined life is not worth living. Confucius taught that mastery begins with self-mastery. Aristotle said excellence is not an act but a habit. They all understood the truth. Victory is not first won in the world. T is one inside yourself. Look at the man who conquers empires but loses his peace. Look at the athlete who trains his body but cannot control his temper. Look at the genius who builds wealth but destroys himself with addiction. The greatest collapse does not come from the outside. It comes from within. That is why you must train your mind as you train your body. So how do you begin? You begin by becoming a student again. Learning is not just for classrooms or books. Learning is oxygen for the mind. Stop feeding your brain with gossip and cheap entertainment. Start feeding it with wisdom, with history, with philosophy, with lessons carved into the stone of human struggle. Every great thinker left behind a roadmap. Every failure of civilization left behind a warning. If you do not learn, you will repeat the mistakes of the blind. When you train your body, you push past limits. When you train your mind, you challenge beliefs. What if you are not who you think you are? What if the story you tell yourself is just a cage built by fear? Growth begins when you shatter those stories. When you face the lies your mind has whispered to you. You're not good enough. You'll never change. Success isn't for you. Those lies are weights. Lift them, crush them, replace them with truth. But learning alone is not enough. Knowledge without application is dust. This is where self-discipline steps in. Imagine a fighter who studies technique but never steps into the ring. Imagine a scholar who memorizes wisdom but never lives it. That is what happens when you collect knowledge but refuse to live it. The mind must be exercised through action. Discipline is built in moments when no one is watching, when you resist the impulse to quit, when you choose the grind over the excuse, when you walk away from what weakens you and walk toward what strengthens you. Every small act of discipline is like a brick. One by one, day by day, you are building the fortress of your mind. And once the fortress is built, awareness guards its gates. You must learn to see, not with your eyes, but with your mind. Most people walk through life asleep. Chained by routine, controlled by impulse, manipulated by noise. But when awareness awakens, you see the traps before you step into them. You see the pattern before it repeats. You see the opportunity others are blind to. The samurai spoke of no mind, the state of pure awareness where action flows without hesitation. Bruce Lee said to be like water, to adapt, to move, to shape yourself to circumstance, yet remain unbreakable. This awareness is trained. It is sharpened through reflection, through silence, through stripping away the clutter of distraction until only clarity remains. With awareness, as comes growth. Real growth is not comfort. Real growth is standing in the fire and refusing to be consumed. It is walking into the storm and learning to dance with the thunder. Growth is when you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start declaring, this is happening for me. Every setback becomes fuel. Every rejection becomes redirection. Every pain becomes power. This is mindset, the foundation of everything. Mindset is not just thinking positive. Mindset is the architecture of your inner world. It is the voice you answer to when no one else is around. Weak minds bow to excuses. Strong minds bend reality. Weak minds see problems. Strong minds see solutions. Weak minds quit at resistance. Strong minds sharpen themselves against it. And just as the body changes through consistent training, the mind rewires through consistent thought. What you repeat becomes who you are. If you tell yourself every day, I am tired, I am weak, I cannot go on, your mind will believe you. But if you train your thoughts with the same intensity you train your muscles, your mind will become unstoppable. Tell yourself, I endure, I adapt, I rise, and you will. This is not theory. This is not philosophy in the clouds. This is survival. The modern world is a battlefield of attention. Every platform fights to steal your focus. Every advertisement claws for your mind. If you do not train your mind, someone else will train it for you. And they will not train it for your freedom. They will train it for their profit. That is why the most important gym you will ever walk into is not made of steel or mirrors. It is the gym of your own thoughts. So stand tall, strip away the excuses, stop living like your life is disposable. Begin training your mind today, not tomorrow, not someday. Train it with the same hunger, the same fire, the same persistence you would train your body. Because a strong body may win a fight, but only a strong mind can win a life. But let's go deeper, because the world is not waiting for you to get strong. The world is not going to pause while you gather your courage. The storms will not wait. The losses will not wait. The temptations, the failures, the betrayals, they are already on their way. If you have not trained your mind, those storms will tear you apart. But if you forge the steel within, the storm will not destroy you. It will polish you. It will reveal what you are made of. Think about the oak tree. It does not grow tall because the wind is gentle. It grows tall because the wind is violent. It digs its roots deeper because the storm demands it. Your mind must do the same. Pressure is not the enemy. Struggle is not the enemy. They are the resistance that builds your strength. If you avoid them, you stay fragile. If you embrace them, you become unbreakable. And resilience is not just surviving. Resilience is transforming. The phoenix does not crawl out of the ashes, it rises. Fire does not merely test the metal, it refines it. That is how you must live. Do not just endure hardship. Use it. Convert pain into wisdom. Convert rejection into determination. Convert loss into hunger. This is where courage is born. Not the loud, reckless courage of arrogance, but the steady, unshakable courage of a mind that knows itself. Fear will always exist. It whispers to every human being. But courage is the decision to move forward anyway. To step into the unknown, not because it is safe, but because growth is on the other side. And courage multiplies when it is rooted in vision. What is your vision? Not your goals, not your temporary desires, your vision. The mountain you would die climbing, the purpose that gives your blood heat and your heart fire. Without vision, the mind has no direction. It wastes its power chasing distractions. With vision, the mind becomes a laser. Every thought, every choice, every action sharpens into focus. This is how legends are made. They are not born with more talent. They are not born with more luck. They are born ordinary and decide to train their minds beyond ordinary limits. They decide to keep going when others quit. They decide to think bigger when others settle. They decide to rise when others accept defeat. Understand this. Greatness is not built in comfort. Greatness is built in sacrifice. You cannot hold on to your excuses and your excellence at the same time. You cannot cling to your distractions and your destiny at the same time. One must die for the other to live. Sacrifice is the bridge between the life you have and the life you want. Every time you choose discipline over indulgence, every time you choose growth over comfort, every time you choose focus over distraction, you are crossing that bridge. Yes, it is painful. Yes, it is lonely. But the other side is freedom. And what is freedom? Freedom is not doing whatever you want. That is slavery to impulse. Freedom is the ability to command yourself, to direct your own energy, to master your thoughts, your habits, your emotions. A man who cannot control his mind is never free, no matter how much money he earns or how much power he holds. A man who masters his mind is free, even in chains. This is why you must train awareness daily. Look at the patterns of your life. Where do you waste time? Where do you escape instead of confront? Where do you lie to yourself? Awareness is the mirror that reveals your truth. Without it, you cannot change. With it, you cannot stay the same. And once you see clearly, you must decide. Decision is power. A weak man hesitates. A strong man commits. History does not remember hesitation. It remembers conviction. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, therefore, is not a single choice. It is a lifestyle. Decide what kind of life you are building and then build it daily with your thoughts, your discipline, your actions. Growth is not linear. It is not smooth. You will rise and you will fall. You will have seasons of momentum and seasons of doubt. But if you train your mind, those seasons will not break you. They will serve you. You will understand that falling is part of rising, that losing is part of learning, that pain is part of progress. And in time, when the mind is trained, you begin to realize something deeper. Life is not just about winning battles. Life is about building legacy. What will remain when you are gone? What will echo when your voice is no longer here? Legacy is not carved in stone. Legacy is carved in people, in the lives you touched, in the fire you lit in others, in the discipline, the resilience, the wisdom you passed on. The body will decay. The muscles will fade. But the mind you train, the wisdom you embody, the strength of character you leave behind, that will outlive you, that will ripple forward into generations, that is immortality. So I ask you, are you living to be remembered, or are you living to be forgotten? Are you training your mind like a warrior, or are you letting it rot like a prisoner? The answer will define your destiny, because life will test you. Life will demand proof of your strength. One day you will be stripped of comfort, stripped of applause, stripped of everything you leaned on. And on that day, the only thing you will have left is your mind. If you trained it, you will stand unbroken. If you neglected it, you will collapse. Train your mind like you train your body, relentlessly, consistently, without excuse. Feed it with wisdom. Discipline it with action. Sharpen it with awareness. Strengthen it with struggle. Direct it with vision. And guard it with courage. Do this, and no force on earth will break you. Now listen closely. This is the moment. This is not theory. This is not someday. This is now. You have been given a body. You have been given a mind. What you do with them is your responsibility. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Begin now. Train now. Rise now. Because the clock is ticking. The fight is already happening. The world will not wait for you to catch up. Train your mind today, and the world will bend to your strength tomorrow. So subscribe, lock in, and carry this fire with you. Because this channel is not just here to inspire you. It is here to transform you. Step into the arena. Build the strongest version of yourself. Train your mind like you train your body. And remember, your greatest opponent has always been the one inside you. Defeat him, and you will never be defeated again.